Are you gonna poop?
That's not my pooping face.
Oh.
Okay. Jeez.
You don't get excited when you poop?
No, do you?
Yeah.
You're like,
yes.
That would be weird. All right, guys, let us know if you guys can hear us well.
10 seconds in, and we're talking about poop.
Not even. That was literally the first word spoken. Was is that your? Do you have to poop? What's going on, guys? So we're gonna be talking about grab the books. If you guys didn't read these, I would
not stay.
I would just leave the stream running. But don't listen. Just watch us talk about books and stuff. But if you did read them, stick around, keep the sound on, and we're gonna have some fun talking about these. And I would recommend both of them definitely, but one of them I would recommend highly more than the other one, tremendously more.
All right.
Hey, you want to do this? Because I feel like I took
Seriously,
over.
Like,
I feel like I took
have
over
a
your
live
book
stream
club
anymore.
now. So this is the Kivox Ender Book Club. Welcome, featuring Meekachii.
Yeah.
From now on, and I had fun doing this. I finished in like the first week, and I wanted to talk about it right away.
Yeah, I know.
If it was me, I would have done the live stream like that weekend.
I literally finished like an hour ago.
Yeah, you pretty much did. I
got the first book. I finished Broken Girls like in the first week, but that's because I listened to it on Audible, and then this one literally took me until an hour ago to finish.
I listened to Broken Girls in a weekend while making like a couple wands. The Broken Girls. It's called The Broken Girls.
Yeah.
I kept calling it Broken Girls.
So, oh no, you didn't finish the magic one?
Sam? No.
But, did you finish Broken Girls?
So we're going to talk about Broken Girls first, because I want to save the other one for last.
All right.
So let's first get around to see who actually read it. Whoever's here right now who read it.
Hello, Manon, Parker, T, Kristen, Gideon, Jariah, Cal.
And if you guys are watching this after the stream, you can just leave a comment and let us know if you read it. And if you're finding this like way later, we try to do a book club every week. Every month. I wish we should do one every week. That'd be great. I think I could read a book a week. And then we just chat with you guys about it. And if you're watching this like later on, just leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think. So,
Broken Girls.
Yeah. So what did you think?
Okay, so first off, well, you asked who read them.
Yeah, we'll wait for them to answer.
But like, what did you guys rate the Broken Girls? I think on Goodreads I gave it a 3.5. Because I don't feel it was like mediocre enough to be a 3, but I don't feel like it was extraordinary enough to be a 4.
See, I feel like a 3 is average. It's not mediocre.
Yes,
it is.
Like, what is the meaning of mediocre?
I don't know.
Isn't that average? Like, just kind of like okay?
But mediocre to me is like on the bad side of okay. It's like
I'm Googling
mediocre.
This.
You know, like you're mediocre, or you could say you're average. And average is more of like a medium.
Only moderate quality, not very good. Touche.
See, I just feel like it's.
I feel like that's what 3 though. Like 3 is just kind of.
I feel like a
okay.
2 is more of like a mediocre. I feel like it was, and I do feel like it was closer to a 2 than a 3. I'd say maybe a 2.5.
Really?
Is that what I like? It was okay, but there was like a lot of things that
Kristen gave it a 3.
There's a lot of things that I just like. I thought it was just like useless information. So,
the not product placement, but you got annoyed by the detail.
Okay, I feel like a book, if it's gonna give you information, if it's gonna give you details, there should be a reason for those details. It shouldn't just be there just to give you fluff. And I feel like this book had a lot of fluff, like the Dunkin' Donuts thing. Oh, they could have just said, I got a coffee, a black coffee or whatever, but it was like, I got a Dunkin' Donuts coffee. It's like, why did I need to know it was a Dunkin' Donuts coffee? Are you getting paid by Dunkin' Donuts? What's the point of you telling me that it was a Dunkin' Donuts coffee?
See, that stuff doesn't bother me.
It's just like, it's useless information. There was other things of that as well.
Yeah, I did. The DSLR.
Yeah. So there's a part where she's going to take pictures and she's like, I had my DSLR. I had my camera is sufficient.
Yeah. And that, never mind, okay. Someone's saying 2.5 is average. Kristen says, I feel like 3 is average, 4 is good, and 5 is great. That's kind of how I feel, too.
Yeah.
I feel like this book...
Well, 3 is average because the average would be... What's the average of 1 and 5? 3, right?
3.
So, therefore...
So 6 divided by 2.
No, 3.
Anyway.
You can't give it a 0. Like, nothing is a 0. Nothing written is a 0.
Well, you could not finish it.
Then that's not a 0. That's that did not finish or whatever.
T's gonna keep reading Sam while we talk about this book.
Okay.
So, okay. I feel like I kept waiting for, like, some super crazy thing to happen in this book, and it never did. Like,
yeah, it was...
I feel like the ending was just kind of like, okay, I could see that.
So let's start off at the beginning. Like, okay, so the general story is... I like the two time periods, right, and how they connected to each other. I always like when stuff does that. I like when TV shows do that. I like when books do that because it's like you're learning a little bit about this and a little bit about that. I think it would also be interesting to just read one half of it and then the other half separately. Like... I think it would be a completely different experience and it would be weird. And I'm wondering how it was written. If it was actually written, if she wrote the whole thing like the way it's written, or if she wrote it. It's a lady, right?
Yes.
Or if she wrote it like one half and the other half, and then
my issue with it, like the big thing that just kept like putting a thorn in my side was, like, it seemed that why are they telling us so much about the past and the present at the same time? The present lady Fiona is like going through all this investigating, but like they don't really connect. The killer in the past is not the killer from the present. The situations from the past are nowhere even close to the present. The only constant and connection is that school.
And the broken,
that's it. And I
the
think
girls.
That's what bothered me.
The broken girls.
Yeah, but yes.
So what? Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that, but I also think
I always feel like if the mystery, like before I read this book, I felt like it was going to be a mystery that in the past that was never solved, which kind of was the case, but it wasn't that the present time it kept happening and it was just never solved. It was just a completely different situation. Mm-hmm. Like it was someone else that died and they died for a completely different reason. It had no bearing on the past whatsoever. And she was investigating 2 different things at the same time. So she was investigating what happened to her sister, but also what happened to those girls a long time ago. And the 2 stories were just completely different. And they were kind of like held together by random stuff like Mary Hand and the school. Like, I almost wish it was more of like a ghost story and more of like focused on one thing and not focused on so many things at the same time.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't enough information. I feel like it wasn't long enough to have that many characters. They really couldn't dive into any of the characters for very long. Mm-hmm. And that kind of was the biggest weakness. And then the Mary thing, the ghost, the
Mary Hand.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the supernatural part of it didn't matter.
It really
didn't matter at all.
Cool. I liked it. But even Kristen just said, I feel like the author was maybe trying to mislead us into thinking Mary Hand was the killer, at least at first. I agree. But I don't mind stuff like that in books. Like, in books. Have you ever read Water for Elephants? Because...
No, but I watched the movie.
In the very beginning of Water for Elephants, they paint this whole picture about how this one person dies, and they make it look like the elephant did it.
Ah.
But then you go through the story and you find out everything, and then you get to that scene and you see it from a different perspective.
Okay.
So, like, I don't mind stuff like that. That's exactly kind of what this book did. So, like, in the beginning, they have, which one died?
The French girl.
Yeah, what was her name? Damn.
Frenchie.
But the girl died in the 1950s, and they make it seem like Mary Hand's the one that did it.
See, the thing is, like, it doesn't really matter what her name was. She was the French one, and then there was the tomboy one, and then there was, you know, the pretty one that was popular. Like, that's...
Katie. I remember most of their names.
That's, Katie Bell or something?
Katie. Cece, Roberta.
But that's the thing. Like, if you told me their names, I'd remember. But then I don't remember. I feel like I don't know. Character development was okay. I'm always iffy about character development. We've had this argument before about character development, and I feel like character development is a very generic term that people use for if they feel like they understand the character. But I feel like most books do a decent job. This one didn't do a bad job, but I didn't really care about the characters. And the fact that they were in the past, I didn't care.
The only person in this story that had any sort of character development was
the main
Fiona.
Character, yeah.
But even still, it wasn't great character development.
And then, like, the fact that she was, like, sick at the end, sick enough where somebody, like, where the old sheriff was, like, just made her go with him.
I thought that he made her sick. The way he says it, he's like, oh, there's something crazy going around really bad.
Does anybody think that he poisoned her?
I thought he did. I thought he did, but then it turns out that he didn't, and that she just had the flu.
Yeah, they never confirmed that, if that was the case.
But I wish I could find it.
But the problem is that, like, I feel like she just randomly got sick. Like, it was so convenient for the story that she was sick at that time. It was like the author had to figure out a way, how am I going to get her to not fight back when he tries to kidnap her? You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, I'll just make her sick because she's been working so hard. So all of a sudden now she's sick.
I found
that's the weird thing.
You don't.
That was my biggest gripe. I was like, why would she just go with him? This other guy has a gun.
Okay.
Why doesn't she just stay with him?
Garrett shook his head. I don't think so. You're gray as a sheet. There's something going around, something real bad. So,
but she was already gray.
The fact that but I thought he had, like, poisoned her.
Was it written like that?
Yeah. Something real bad.
I know, but was it written like this? Something real bad. That's kind of how you read it.
All right, let's see. I think it got a bit more interesting as it went on. I like that she added a little complexity, but I had a feeling it was going to wrap up nicely. Realistically, the situation wouldn't.
Oh, another thing. So it didn't wrap up nicely because at the end, like, remember when, what was there? Beth. Remember when Beth showed up and she was, the only reason I remember that is Stranger Things. The girl that died in Stranger Things was Beth.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was in the first one. The girl's best friend, the nerdy one.
It wasn't Beth.
It was Beth, wasn't it?
No.
You sure? Pretty sure it was Beth.
Damn.
You guys let us know.
She thought that he made her sick too, and that
Bridget, was it Bridget?
No.
It was with a B. I know that. So the whole thing with Mary Hand,
Barbara, Barb.
Barb, Beth. Okay, so I was close. That's how I remember her name, though. I thought that her name from Stranger Things was that. So so the fact that when the main character Fiona or whatever saw her sister as the ghost, whatever, she was like, "Don't let her in. She'll try to like convince you, whatever.
Yeah, there was no point.
Don't let her in." Why was that in the thing? Because it didn't matter. Like, she didn't let her in. She never even knocked.
And not to mention, though, like, we never learned why you don't want to let Mary Hand in.
Yeah, I thought they were going to let her in, or she was going to somehow let her in, or release her somehow, and then it was going to lead to a sequel or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was going to happen. Like, it was going to be, like, she dies at that. Like, Fiona dies or something because of that.
I feel like there were as she says, Deb, I feel like there were too many mini plot lines going on at the same time. You have Sonia, who is killed by one of the concentration camp people. You have another girl that randomly was, like, killed by the guy that killed Fiona's sister. Then you have Fiona's sister died. There was too many little plots, like, that you had to, like, piece together, but they didn't fit together well enough to, like, work, I feel. I don't know. I enjoyed reading it. That's why I gave it a 3.5, because I feel like it was little better than average. Like, I liked the ghost part.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought they said if you let her in, then she tried to make you her friend by killing you. Oh, I don't know.
It was... I still don't feel like they explained that.
The only person that she tried to kill was Cece, right?
I don't know.
She tried to, like, drown her or something. Who's Helen?
Who's Helen?
I don't know.
All right, so I'll give it a 2.5. Average was 3. It was a little below. It was a little below average.
I don't
I
know.
wouldn't read it again.
I
Ever.
feel like if I enjoy a book, and I did enjoy it, like I got through it and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't. There was nothing that had a lasting impression, and I feel like a year from now I'm not gonna remember any of it.
I would never read it again. So
Excuse
it
me.
was good enough to read once. It was a short read as well. So it was creepy. It did have its creepy moments.
It's 300 pages. That's
but-
like average. But yeah, like I don't know. Was Kristen the only one that read it? I think. I don't know. Are people just waiting for sufficiently advanced magic?
I don't know.
I feel like we should vote on the next books and let people put in their votes.
Now?
Oh, we didn't set up a thingy.
Ugh,
Never mind.
we can't do it then.
Helen wasn't killed, but she was kind of an extra piece that was sad because it made you assume if it wasn't covered up, then Deb wouldn't have died. The girl Tim assaulted
Oh, Helen, I remember now.
the year before he met Deb. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I guess, yeah. I mean, this whole time, I kind of did think that maybe the what's-his-face was framed. She said I could have went without it, but I'm not mad I read it. So, I don't know. I guess we talk about sufficiently
was like,
advanced magic.
It was like this. Like, right in there. Right in the middle.
A 3.
Yeah, a tree. 2.5 tree. 2.75.
2.5 to me is kind of...
It's slightly
little
below
bad.
average. Slightly below average. All right, so I guess let's grab the book. Grab the book. Let's move on to like my favorite book, besides the Harry Potter, obviously. But like this was I love this.
I know. You read it like twice.
I read it like twice, waiting for you guys so that we could talk about it. So,
By the way, so after Friday's stream, he was like, make a prediction. And I was like, I don't want to make a prediction.
so if you guys haven't read this, tune away, mute the thing, because it's definitely a recommended read for me.
Dry says yes.
And therefore, if you guys don't get it spoiled, it's not worth getting it spoiled. Like, it's so good.
Oh no, she's at page 420. You shouldn't listen because
Yeah, just come back. Just come back
Yeah.
soon. Come back when you're done. I'll post this right afterwards. So, yeah, you still have like 200 pages. Come on, dude. You had a month to read this.
don't yell at people. She said, I'm not gonna lie, I really want to order the second book. The ending was pretty epic.
Then-
I did not see that coming.
Then order the second book and read it. I don't care. I'm just not going to read it with you, and you better not spoil it. I will never talk to you again.
So, hi Charlie. She said, sorry I'm late. I failed this month. Didn't finish Broken Girls, but I'm like 95% done with the magic. It's been a tough reading month. Dude, but we're going to talk about the
Yeah,
end.
so, yeah, we're going to talk about it now. So definitely don't... Just mute it, and then as soon as you... Go read it now. Mute it. And then as soon as you're done, just rewind it and watch what we talked about. I love this book so much.
I basically, after that live stream, I made a prediction.
Wait. Remember when I asked you who these two
Yeah.
were? Do you still think that they're the people that you originally thought they were?
Who did I think?
You said it was Vera and Corin.
Well, I think that's Corin.
I do think that's Corin, but you think that's his sister?
Who has the lightning powers?
Maybe that's Ice.
Oh, maybe.
I think that's Ice. I think that's
So
Ice.
I think it is Sarah and Corin.
I do think so. Book 1. I want the rest of them now.
The second one's out.
Yeah, but not the audiobook. And
I know.
The audiobook is so good. I know you don't like the audiobook, but
I
it is so
I didn't
good.
not like it, but what I don't like is if I start physically reading a book, I don't like switching to audio.
Okay, so we're going to start spoiling stuff. So
Kristen said-
I'm going to give it like a 5, all right? I loved it. Like, not compared to Harry Potter, because Harry Potter as a world, it's still like amazing. You can't really beat that, but I do. It's like my favorite book I've read, I've listened to, whatever, besides the Harry Potter books. It's my favorite series, and I love the world, and I love what he created, and I look forward to future stuff. I don't care what happens. I just want more of it. It's like Star Wars, you know, like I don't care what happens in Star Wars. Just give me more. Give me more. Give me more Harry Potter. Give me more Star Wars. Give me more. What is this called?
Arcane Ascension.
Okay, give me more Arcane Ascension.
Okay. She says, is that Sarah or Vera? We think it's Sarah. T says she thinks it's Sarah. Charlie, I thought Sarah. It's meant to be 7 books. And Darius says, yeah, audiobook needs to be released now. I gave it a 4.5. The audiobook was really good. I've been reading it both ways. I'm going to say 4.5. That's Jiraiya, or 4 out of 5, excuse me. And then Charlie says a 4. I was going to give it a 4. And then I think the ending makes me want to put it at like a at least 4.25.
So the reason I would give it a 5 because it's just like my style of book. It has a bunch of dumb information that I love, but it's not like useless information. It's like world information, world building, like epic fantasy stuff that like I want to know more about how this world works. I want to know more about their rules. I want a map. I'm glad that there's information on the back, but I want a map of the world. Because I want to know like where things are. I want to know where Edria is. I want to know where all these different countries or whatever they are, lands are, and how like they relate to each other. I want to know where the spires are, or how they're located. You know what I mean? I want that type of information.
Speaking of that, I feel like at the end, they make a comment about having to go to all the spires to get to the goddess. And I'm like, yes, but we knew that from like the beginning. Why are they making this a huge revelation at the end?
We didn't know that at the beginning.
We did.
No. Corin they just thought that they had to make it to one spire. It's the top of one spire.
No. How did I know it was all?
Because
they literally teach you in the first chapter.
I think you maybe read it in the back or something. Something about a boon. You must have read it somewhere because you knew that before you started reading the book.
Not true.
You told me that before you started reading the book.
I knew about the goddess thing giving you a boon. I did not know that you had to go to all the towers. Anyway, Kristen says I really liked it, but it didn't like blow me away where I'm obsessed. I mean, I probably would have given it a solid 4 before the last 2 pages, and then it just like I did not see that coming, and it just makes me want to continue. So because of that, I think I'll probably give it like a 4.25. You
went from 5 to 4.5 to 4.25.
No, I said 0.25.
I think you said 4.5. But anyway,
it wasn't enough character development for me. We had a huge fight about this.
Character development.
But I need more like in-depth character development.
Dude, I feel like I know Corin very well, and that's all you need to know. You only need to know him.
But
he's
the argument I've made before.
It's first person.
Doesn't matter.
It's first person, so you only know what he knows and what he's understanding and what he's thinking. You're not paying attention to like everybody else. Like Harry Potter is written in third person, so therefore it's more descriptive of each character. And it's less of what one person is thinking.
Random side characters from Harry Potter, you know.
I know all the side characters
much
from
about
this.
them.
I know all the side characters from this. All right. I may not know their names because I'm really bad with names. But if you told me, you kept asking me. You were like, "Wait, who's this?" And I'm like, "That's the one that punched the lightning." I had to tell you that like 4 times.
Yeah, I know. So she says they thought it was only supposed to be 1 spire. I disagree because I read it somewhere in the beginning that someone mentioned you have to go to all 6, and then they found out there may even be a 7th.
No. There is a 7th, but it's in that. No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Even he makes a comment saying, "Oh, maybe you have to go up that one too."
Are you sure you're not thinking about that other? Because there's like the Dark Lands or whatever, right? There's like what is it called? The Badlands or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's like an area where they don't go because it's like too heavily populated with monsters or whatever. Am I getting my books confused?
You're getting them confused.
Are you sure that there isn't?
I think you're thinking of Kings of the Wild.
No, but isn't there like a spire there? Inside
of
there?
There is a spire somewhere that they
can't get to.
Yeah.
Because it's too heavily populated with monsters and stuff.
Dryas says, my only issue with it was that it felt like it was mostly just a series of escape rooms. Not much happens outside the tower or training rooms. I don't know if I feel that way, because, like, I was kind of upset when the escape rooms and stuff went away for
I feel
a while.
like not, like, at least the first part of the book where he was doing his test, I feel like not a lot there happened. Because it was more when he met Karis, and what's her face? That's when something started happening. But before that, it was like a test, and to me, it was like stuff's happening. This is exciting. It's cool to figure out because they were slowly teaching us about the world. but it still wasn't. It wasn't a lot that was happening, and then all the stuff that happened outside of that in school and stuff. That's when we started learning more about all that crazy
I know that's
stuff.
what you love.
And then there was that awesome fight with when they all went into because they're getting attacked and blah blah blah, and that was that great fight with everybody. And then there was the memory fight where you got to see his mom fight.
See, I don't remember that.
Oh, that was so great. And then the guy that's recording it with his eyes was like, he was like, oh, I'm just here to watch. And then Karis was like, fair enough. And then he jumped away. I was like, yes. I literally like got goosebumps and like laughed out loud at that moment. I was like, oh, this guy's so cool. I want to be friends.
All right. I feel like if I wasn't racing to finish it and spent more time on it, I would have enjoyed it more and given it a 5. I'm definitely going to reread it solely before the second book. Leonard's here. Hello, Leonard.
Because Leonard is here.
There's one tower hidden, and there's another tower in a place they shouldn't go or something like that. Yeah, because it's in like an area that they have to get like a visa basically to go to.
No, it's like a Badlands.
No, there's one that they have to apply to get into the tower. And then unclaimed land, is that it?
Maybe, yeah.
It's in a Badland, but the rooms themselves are very cool and well described. We all need to remember that the book hasn't been edited like any other book would have been because it's self-published and it's still amazingly
you
written.
caught a bunch of
I caught a lot of typos and stuff, but I understand that like when you're reading your own stuff, it's so easy to like
because you already know what it's gonna say.
Yeah,
you
know
know
what skip over typos.
Yeah.
Like
trust me, if you guys ever read any of my Instagram comment, like things that I write on Instagram, or sometimes when I reply to you guys, there's every sentence that I write has at least one mistake in it, at least one, usually multiple. So it's very easy, but I'm just kind of bad at it.
Leonard hasn't read it, but he's here for support.
No, Leonard, mute it. All right,
Hello,
just mute it, because you got to read it or listen to it. It's, oh, maybe you tried. I don't remember what you said. It's so good though. It's like my favorite book. I legit want to make like I would love to make a dueling cane, but I don't know what they're supposed to look like. He didn't describe the look of them enough. That's the problem. Kristen,
I don't know.
Kristen sent me a picture of the end of it, which is the easiest part to draw. Like
I feel like there should have been some of the characters had decent development, and I feel like they had good personalities. Maybe that's the problem I have with it is like I don't feel like their personalities were that unique from one another. And it just kind of like I need distinct personalities. Like I don't know. Call me crazy. He's not listening to me.
No, I was. You don't feel like they had enough unique personalities, but I did like all of them, and even if like some of them were a little cliche. At first, I didn't like Sarah. I thought she was gonna be like bitchy.
Yeah.
But I found that she wasn't. One thing that I thought was weird is that like sometimes when they were talking, just like coming up with jokes and stuff, it was too quick. It was too like I was like, man,
too witty.
It was too much. I was just like, nobody would ever think of acting like that. Oh, and then my potato with this potato, whatever. You remember they're talking about the potato and how the potato was poison and she stole his potato. And he's like,
that
it was
my
actually,
third favorite potato.
Yeah, it was like too clever. It was funny, but it was like very, very clever.
Some people are that witty though.
But they both were. They were obviously.
Says, I don't really see typos because it's not my main language unless it's really obvious. Okay, you brought up the name Roland Friday. I was wondering what happened to him. I think he will come into play in the next book in a big way.
Yeah, that's the thing. They set up a lot. This book was obviously written from the very beginning as a sequel. Now, when you look at like the first,
you mean as a series?
Yeah, as a series. When you look at the first like Harry Potter book, it was obviously written to like it could have ended there. She didn't have to keep writing. Like it was like he defeated Voldemort. The end. Problem solved.
Not really.
Yeah, but kinda. Like if it did end, it would have been sad, but it could have ended. This like legit. Like they introduced another character that I was like, wait a second, who is that person that they were talking about? And then when I reread it, I was like, oh, okay, they just mentioned her and then forget about her completely. But there's a character that he sees in like the dining room or something where he like makes eye contact with her and then she makes eye contact with him and then she looks away and he's like, oh, thank goodness that
he
she
had like a crush on her or something.
We don't know.
Oh.
They never mentioned it, but it seems like it was a girl, and maybe they had but they were young before, you know what I mean? They were like what, 10? Maybe they were supposed to be married or something, or engaged at some point. Maybe that was like, you know, whatever. We don't know about how marriage and stuff works in this.
I want to know what the heck his new attunement is.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even know.
And what's up with Sarah? What's like, can she speak?
Yeah, she's...
Because it's on her lungs. So therefore, like, is she
and
gonna...
her mana was reading 0 of 0. It's crazy. Yeah, I thought Sarah was going to be an enemy, but I like that she wasn't. I also like that Patrick just jumped back into friendship with
Patrick.
Corin.
Look, I just got goosebumps. You mentioned Patrick. I just
legit.
got goosebumps. I loved when he and Corin, when he asked Corin to be his, when he asked them if he could be his...
I feel like that wasn't well explained.
Oh, it was so great.
Because he did it.
I literally got goosebumps, and I was like, oh my god, this is so great. I was so happy for him.
They sent the letter to the father for approval, and you never heard whether he approved it or not.
He asked Sarah about it.
Yeah, that doesn't mean
Sarah he didn't approve it. He's asking Sarah her
But then
opinion.
later on, he like says like, oh, Patrick, my what
that means that he got approved.
That's dumb. They should have said it.
It doesn't need to be said.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
Why?
Because it does. You go through all of that and like talk about how now it needs to be approved. And now you're not even going to say if it was absolutely approved. No.
Well, how would they do it? Like, oh, I got a letter from my dad. He was like, yo, what up, son?
Yeah.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
All right. I liked how it was different from Harry Potter and that you learn about new facts about the world through the protagonist's eye and not by obvious exposition in dialogue like it often happens in Harry Potter.
Who said that?
Jiraiya. Patronus, am I late? I just woke up. Well, we're talking about sufficiently advanced magic if you read it. Kristen says, yeah, the girl he didn't want to run into on the first day, and then he kind of saw her, but they didn't talk. Hufflepuff, sorry, I wasn't at the live stream Friday. I was away. Patrick is awesome. That's Jiraiya.
Patrick was so cool, man. Like, I was so... He's just so great and, like, so innocent and, like, just nice.
That's why I like him. Do we know what level Karis is?
No. We don't know anything about him. He... remember, Corin asked him, like, what exactly are you? And he's like, well, you're going to have to wait till the next book. That's pretty much what he said. He's like, I've tried to explain it to people, and they always, like, they don't understand. So just wait till the next book, because then I'll figure out how to write it, and I'll tell you guys what exactly he is.
Yeah, that ending is what really pulls you in. So much openness to it. We know Karis is going to be prevalent in the next book. Same with Derek. Patrick should be a bigger part.
Derek was so cool, too, man.
Yeah, he had a lot of personality.
Vaneve or whatever.
I loved him.
He was so great.
He's probably one of my favorites.
I knew as I was reading him, I was like, oh, she's going to love him. She's going to love him.
He's very cranky. I'm curious about Jin. That's Kristen.
Yeah, it sucks because like I already liked Jin and I thought he was like really interesting. They wrote the audiobook.
I was so excited when there was going to be some gay love, and then it didn't happen.
I mean, it wasn't. They were just going on a date. Like,
dude,
what's the big deal?
I was so excited. I was like, at least have a kiss or something.
I loved how they wrote that. Like he was like, I have a date. It was so exciting. I was like, oh, and there was another moment when I was like, she's gonna love this when this happens. And when he showed up at the door, like asking to take him to the winter ball or whatever whatever it was, I was like, he's gonna ask him out. He's totally gonna ask. And then he did, and I was just like, she's gonna love this. And I was like, Meek, there's a part that you're gonna love. And he's like, you were like, who's gay? I was just like, no, nobody's gay. She's like, is it Jin? And I'm like,
dude,
why?
I was like, gay
why?
vibes from Jin.
I was like, why do you think he's gay? Like,
because I get it. I got
it. He doesn't seem gay. No.
There are some gay people, but they don't go into like, because T's asking, oh man, no gay love. Now I'm disappointed. It's like, there are, but they hint at it, but they don't go into detail. Hopefully there's details later.
Oh, and then there was that joke at the end with Karis and what's his face on the roof or whatever.
Derek and Karis,
yeah.
Dude, I hope they're
on
gay
the
together.
Roof. No, they're not.
Yes. Yes.
No, it was just funny the way that they wrote it. And then they all laughed, and it was like, I felt good to laugh again. I love this book, man. It's so good.
But
I'm gonna keep
I
re-listening
called
to
that
it.
right from the beginning because straight dudes do
The
not
only reason,
wink
though,
at other straight dudes. It just doesn't happen. Do you wink at guys?
Dude, I don't wink at girls.
But like,
I've never
if
winked at a
they
girl.
specifically in books,
Look, I'm gonna be honest
listen
with
to
you.
me.
No, you listen to me.
In books,
No,
they put stuff
you
like that
listen to
in
me.
there so you know that people are gay.
You listen to me. I've never winked at anyone in my entire life.
But in
have
a book,
any of you guys winked at anybody seriously? Like, not as like just like a, like I've done that, but I've never like
but
done.
I'm telling you, if an author goes out of their way to put it in a book, there's a reason.
See,
for
I
it.
just thought it was like friendly.
So immediately when you told me when you said I'm gonna like something and I thought like, oh man, someone's gay, I thought of Jin immediately.
I wink at all my friends.
No.
Like I wink at myself. Does that mean that I'm gay with myself? No.
Drya, Patrick is definitely a fellow Hufflepuff.
So great. I know. That's true.
Kristen, I appreciate that this book has LGBTQ plus rep, but it wasn't in your face. He made it accepted and normal.
That's the thing. Like, they didn't make a point of, like, saying anything. You know what I mean? It was
he was just like, I'm going on a date, not like, oh my god, it's a guy.
Yeah.
He was just like,
but, like, even like the way it was written, it wasn't like, I was just like, this is the way it should be freaking written. It should just be written as normal, not to make a point that, hey, this is a gay character. Yeah. Check it out. Like, I hate when they do that. It just ruins it. Or this is like the badass female character. Like, none of all, and the girls were great. They were like the strongest out of all like the students, at least. If you think about
he
it.
doesn't really make gender like preferences for any of the characters in this book. Like, and that's what's good. Kristen said, Vanive!
He was great.
Have you read Spirit Animals? No. Be right back, I have to eat. What? Gay characters? Leonard. And then he put a purple heart in a punch. He punched you for it.
He punched the happy face.
T says, I've never, but she's right. If they make it a point to put something like that in a book, there's a reason for it. There's always a reason. I think a lot of people aren't necessarily gay, but more bi or open to everyone. Marissa kicked ass.
Yeah Marissa was great. And then the audiobook, she was like Irish or Scottish or something. I always get those two accents confused.
I think it was Scottish.
A-okay, guys. It was great. She was awesome. And I was just like, ooh, does she like Corin? She obviously likes Corin because she's getting all embarrassed and stuff. And she's like, oh my God.
She may just be a shy person.
No, she totally likes him. He's. The
Everything
next book
written...
is going to be Corin's Harem. That's what it's going to be called. Everybody's just going to love him.
Everything that's written is done with a purpose. For certain books, yes, and I think that this book, because...
And then for other books, not so much. Things are just put in there for no reason.
But anyway.
2.5.
I feel like there is so much information with this book. I don't know. Based on this book, I can't decide if you would like City of Brass that we read. I think you may.
I read this twice. 1.5. I'm going to finish it, though. I jumped around the second time because I was like, I want to read the end again. Because I need to know what happens exactly at the end.
I feel like the guy Marissa has a problem with is going to come back into play. Who's that?
The one that wanted to own her. Oh, man. Did you read this book? So, the one that she punched his lightning. How's that? I always have to give you that back to that one instance.
I don't remember who she fought.
The other guy. It's just another character. But he's like a lord. And
I hope this author is good at like backtracking without going too far.
So it seems like he's planning ahead. Like all of the events that are happening in this, I have a feeling and I hope, because if it happens, then it's going to be good. But calling back to things, it's my favorite thing. That's why I love Doctor Who. That's why I love Harry Potter, because the callbacks is like it's like you put in this much time, and you want to be able to, like, 2 books from now call back to this book and like, I remember that fight. Like, I remember when that happened. That's what makes like book series great, or movies or TV shows or whatever. Look at all the Avengers stuff. Like they call back to these dumb things, and only if you remember do you really like get it and like it. But that's my thoughts.
Will we be doing all of the books for the book club?
What does that mean?
Like all of these?
I would love to, but that's going to involve like 5 years of doing this book club. So if you guys are with us for 5 years, then yeah.
I feel like Kivox might like City of Brass, but not as much as this book. I agree, because he liked the technical stuff in this book.
City of Brass. Didn't I read the first one?
No.
Which one's the one that I read?
We're talking about like the genie one.
Oh, okay, the genie one. Okay. But will I like the characters?
I think so.
Because I love the fact that this character sucked. That he wasn't the best. His attunement sucked. Like his powers suck. It's like if you are the weakest Avenger, and that's what the book follows the weakest Avenger. Basically.
See, I think I kind of like reading more about badass characters. I don't know.
It's been overdone. It's just been done so much.
It depends on how you go about it. Like if someone is
here's the thing with a badass character, right? You write him badass, and he can only get worse from then. He can only get weaker,
or stay the same, or you learn more.
But usually, them. Usually they nerf him in some way to give him some sort of humanity or like some sort of like. You have to make him weak. You have to make him like he is weak.
Like
and
he
can only get better. Imagine how much better he's gonna be with a second attunement. Who knows what it is? It could be anything. Maybe he'll get another. Well, they don't even recognize it, right? So who knows what it's gonna be? It's gonna be great. He's gonna be awesome in the next book. He's gonna be more powerful, hopefully, or he's gonna get like another like enchantment dumb attunement. Now he's gonna be like a healer enchanter.
Hey, that's a good attunement.
Is it though? It's still not a combat attunement. He needs a combat attunement. That's the problem. And Sarah has like a new god sword.
Is the guy that tried to show off in Tef's first class and then called out Marissa? She was from the place as that. She was from the place. There's a guy like, and he's like obsessed with her. Let me see this.
She explained it.
No, but I want to know who it is. Maybe I'll remember by name.
They only mentioned him like once or twice.
Oh.
So like that was the main instance with him. He was the one that raised his hand and answered the question, and then, whatever. Or maybe he answered a question. I don't remember. But he calls her out, and then he calls her by name, by first and last name, and then she punches his lightning dead.
I love how Corin had to start from nothing and not be the amazing fighter and all. It's different. And then Kristen said, that second attunement...
Can you come over more?
It is going to be something good.
Move your butt over.
Which way?
Towards me, Meek. Look how...
I don't want to go near you.
You're halfway off the screen.
We all know he will be really amazing by the end, but he will have worked for it.
So do you guys remember when he passed out and the sword like almost killed him or whatever? He had a dream, right? What did you guys think about that dream? Do you think it was a flashback, or do you think it was a flash forward, possibly, of him in the future? Even though they said a couple of names, and he had a son, and stuff like that, and a wife, and the wife's name was never mentioned before. So I don't know if it was the original owner of the sword.
I thought it was the Soul Blade's owner.
The Soul Blade. The Soul Blade is a attunement.
Or whatever, the blade, the one that had the soul in it.
Yeah. Well, you're saying the soul of the blade.
Yeah, his owner.
Charlie
says, I agree. I like that he has room to learn and grow. He's such a well-written character. I love his sarcastic voice.
Is that it?
Yeah. I thought he was that old man in the dream.
See, that's what I thought too.
Wait, what?
Charlie thought what I thought, that he was it was a flash forward.
Well, she just said that old man. She didn't say he was an old man.
I thought he was that old man in the dream. The old man in the dream, the one that was the main person in the dream. There was only like 3 people in the dream, and then the guy he was fighting. So there was the guy he was fighting, which was like a god or whatever, and then there was him, and then the kid, and then the wife.
She says, I think it's the soul of the blade too, but it would be nice if it was the future. I don't know. The only thing that makes me think it might be the future is, like you said, the way he gets woken up is the same way, like, the goddess talks to him.
Yep.
Kent is the kid obsessed with Marissa.
See, again, it doesn't matter. Like, I told you, the name... Do you remember the name now? It wasn't going to help you. That's why I was like, don't even look for it. There's no point. I want. Do they explain the levels, Carnelian and all that stuff in the back here? Because that's what I gotta look at. I want to like see.
It doesn't explain a lot.
But it has them in order, right?
You just missed it.
It has them in order.
Yeah, right there. Quartz, carnelian, sunstone, citrine, emerald, and sapphire. I love how. So apparently this is written by Lars, and isn't that the guy that owns the shop?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And he wrote Sapphires? Ha! Good luck finding one of those, kid. You're more likely to find a spell that turns lead into gold.
That's awesome. That's so good. I love this crap. I love this crap.
Bye, Parker. You missed everything.
You didn't miss anything. Just rewind.
But yeah. I enjoyed it.
If you haven't read it, go.
I remember the last book that I was gonna say we could read.
Okay.
Maybe it's here.
Maybe.
I think it is here. Here it is. Me. Okay. Yeah, that info in the back definitely helped. Listening to the audiobook, I was a bit lost at first, and then I read that, and it all came together.
I wish they had that in the audiobook. That would have been great.
Alright.
4 books?
So I have 4 options.
Alright, so we're going to be voting on the...
next month.
The next month's beaks.
So, this was part of the SPFBO.
What's that mean?
Self-publishers something blog off. I was wondering how Sarah came into contact with
Sarah.
Oh yeah, that was
amazing.
Something else too.
That was phenomenal.
Yep.
Well, so it would have probably been the same way that Corin did, because when he did his test, he had the chance to go encounter him, and she probably just went up to him and was like,
"Yo,
trap." She threw her Pokeball, and
yeah, but like
he
it
was
still
like,
would have been. They need to explain it because like
they don't though, because it's not. She could tell the story, yes, but it would be again, it's his point of view. Unless she tells him the story, and it doesn't really matter. It would be great as like a side story, you know, like a short story, like her how she got her attunement or something. But it's not necessary for the main plot.
That's still pretty crazy though, because it's a god.
Well, she didn't beat him. He just respected that she tried. That's what he said. He was like, or she. It's a girl, right?
Yeah. I think.
Or it's a whatever. So it just was basically like she was the weakest person that has come up to me in years and tried to do this, or like ever. And basically he just respected, or she just respected him.
I don't remember.
She
that
just
part
respected
at all.
her. Yeah, that's what he said. She was like, he was just. The snake was just impressed, basically, and that's why it said, "Okay, you caught me."
Isn't she a carnelian now?
Yeah,
Sarah?
they all are. I don't know about what's his. No, well, Sarah's like nothing now.
No, but she was the one that became one. Who became?
Well,
Yeah, it was her.
Yeah, she released some of her beasts.
Not during the judgment. Wait, but she couldn't have made a contract if she didn't have an attunement yet. Not during the judgment. Oh yeah.
Touché.
That's why I like these live streams.
But maybe she did. Maybe she didn't leave. Maybe she went back. Right?
I want to know what happens.
Or maybe because she couldn't go back into the tower afterward. Or maybe she just tried to fight him.
But she didn't know that she was going to be a
No, but maybe
summoner.
she just tried to fight her or fight it.
I don't know. That is when she would have come into contact with her.
I just imagine like in Naruto, like the giant snake summons. You know, basically that.
What?
The giant snake, like Voldemort's giant snake that he summons in Naruto.
Oh.
If you guys haven't watched Naruto, it's like a ripoff of Harry Potter. Just letting you know, at least the first couple seasons, minus the wizards.
The tower was sealed after Corin left.
Yeah, but she went before. She took her test before.
You can't go back.
No, I know, but okay, she takes the test, she gets her powers, she goes back, or she just tried to fight him and was like, "Yo,
That's not. I think it makes more sense that she would have gone back to find.
It would be nice if they explained it. I do. Now that you mentioned that, I do wish I understood how it happened. But again, it doesn't really matter. But it would be nice to know.
Yeah, it kind of matters because they made a point to have it happen.
No, it doesn't, because it's already happened. So it doesn't really matter how it happens unless it's going to affect the future in some way. But again, it would be nice to know. I would like to know. What are we doing? We're talking about the new books.
Well, you started talking again.
No. They started talking again. Blame them.
All right, so
blame Kristen, probably. It's usually her that ruins everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
So
why are you being
mean.
so mean?
So, this book was also part of the SPFBO.
SPFPO.
And I believe it is also a self-published
book. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too.
Where Loyalties Lie by Rob Hayes.
Where Loyalties Lie by...
It is a straight up, like...
Rob Hayes.
Pirate adventure story.
Pirate adventure story. That's this one. You want to read the snaps?
Everybody knows Drake Morris is only out for himself. As the fires of a dying city burn on a distant shore, Drake sees an opportunity to unite the other pirate captains under his flag and claim a crown for himself. If he is to succeed, then he will need allies and the oracle named Keelan Stillwater, the best swordsman in the Isles, as Drake's right hand. But, yeah, I don't know. I just hear it's a really good pirate story. So if you're into a pirate story, there's that one. Then... I think someone told me that this book isn't out yet. Give me 2 seconds.
Nice.
2 seconds. 2 seconds.
That one right there.
Don't ruin my book.
Put that one right there. Look at that. Yeah. Meek, hurry up. You should have done this before. This is live, woman. Half your face is off the screen.
Good.
Well, you should put all of it off the screen then, if that's what's going on.
All right. So this one doesn't come out until July 10th.
Nice job.
But I mean that's still July. We're reading this is July's book. All right. Kivox, you're great at introducing new books.
Thank you.
There's so many stuff we don't know yet. It's just a huge story. So I wanted to read Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik.
Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik.
I have started reading this.
Naomi Novik. Say it right.
I've started reading this, and it's by the same author of Uprooted. It's supposedly a standalone fantasy, and I'm about 25% of the way in, and I'm really liking it so far. I've heard that it's a Rumpelstiltskin type retelling, but I haven't really gotten that vibe yet. But yeah, I really like it so far. So there's that one.
So that's all we know about is that it's a Rumpelstiltskin?
I don't know how to describe it.
Telling?
And this doesn't really say much about it. Miriam is the daughter of and granddaughter of moneylenders, but her father's inability to collect his debts has left his family on the edge of poverty, until Miriam takes matters into her own hands. Hardening her heart, the young woman sets out to claim what is owed and soon gains a reputation for being able to turn silver into gold. I don't want to say too much. I'm just liking the way it's written so far. Then I am on page 140 of this book. But I'm really liking it, and I want to finish it, and I think you guys will like it. That's The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. And I really...
Like poppy seeds? Like poppy, like the drug? Like how they used to use it as drugs? Does it have anything to do with drugs?
I don't... Yes. Okay. There is drugs in it, but it's not really it's not like a main thing.
Okay.
So that one is an adult fantasy. I don't know how to describe it.
Take that? Trying to just... put these here.
Let me see it.
Okay. I wasn't setting that all up.
I don't know how to describe this. It's basically a young girl who is not from an area, or not from a situation where she has money. She has no real, like, family. She decides that she wants to take this test to become part of the military, and get into a military school. And she only has 2 years to do what people do in, like, 11 years. And she is a super hardworking young girl, and it's kind of her story of how she grows. There is some, like, it feels like sometimes it can be military heavy, but it's not done in a way where I mind it, because I hate military heavy books, but I'm really liking this. Ow, I just punched my face. I'm really liking this, and I feel like right now it's getting super hype on YouTube, so there's that. Okay.
What?
You need to pose. I wanted to read Spinning Silver, didn't realize it comes out next month. I'm getting a new wand, okay? Oh my god, Poppy War decision made. I'm dying to read that one. And then this one is kind of like, it came out just recently. The Book of M by Peng Shepherd. This is not what the cover looks like, I don't believe. But this is kind of like a post-apocalyptic, not even really, I don't know. Let me read you the beginning. One afternoon at an outdoor market in India, a man's shadow disappears. An occurrence science cannot explain. He is only the first. The phenomenon spreads like a plague, and while those afflicted gain a strange new power, it comes at a horrible price, the loss of their memories. So it seems like it's going to be some kind of like crazy disease, like post-apocalyptic type deal where like when you lose your shadow, it's almost like you don't want it to happen, but you're going to gain a power, but at the same time you lose your memories. It seems like it could be a really cool book.
Just make new memories.
Bam.
Memories are free.
I hear the end of Poppy War gets crazy brutal, but it's good. I've heard nothing but good things about Poppy War, and like I said, I'm on page like 140, and I'm really liking it. Ooh, the Book of M. So these are the 4 options. I'm down to read 2 if you guys want to read 2. I think I could handle it. If I was able to handle 900 pages this month, I think I could do it.
So are we voting for 2?
It's up to them. I don't know if they want to read 2.
I want these 2.
These 2?
Mm-hmm. I don't care about pirates.
What?
And that does not look great. I don't think it's just as interesting as those 2. I have no idea anything about Poppy War seeds or whatever it's called. Poppy seeds? Poppy War.
This one's just written really well.
All right. I like written well. So these are my votes. What are your votes? Or you don't want to vote? You don't have a vote? Okay. These are my votes. What do we got?
I guess if you guys want to choose 2, I could do 2.
Well, let's do 2, but commit to 1.
No, we're going to commit to 2.
I'm reading both of them. Can I get the audiobook for both of those?
Yeah.
Do you have the audiobook for this one already?
Nope. Damn. But we have 2 points.
Okay, cool.
All right, so we have... Okay. Charlie says Poppy War. Leaning toward the pirate book or Poppy War. Book of M, Poppy War. Book of M, Poppy War.
Like,
Kristen's only going to read 1. But, so you want to do...
Just choose one.
The Poppy War then? Because it doesn't seem like anyone wants to read the pirate book. I'll try to read both, but I have a readathon for the first week of July. Hey, maybe these books will, like, cover your readathon. Unless it's, like, a contemporary
Isn't it
one.
Canadian readathon? Are any of them Canadian authors?
Oh, that I don't know.
I think that's what the one that she's doing is.
I vote for the ones Kivox voted for.
All right, so we're reading those 2. Cool. No need to vote anymore. We're good.
Dude, you just hate these books for no reason.
This is what we're reading, guys. Boom. Can you see them? This one comes with the rip and everything. It was free.
Yeah.
It came in damaged, right?
This book came in annihilated. Look at this. It seems really cool. Damn, this one's 500 pages. How long is this one? This one is like deceptively long. It's also like 500 pages.
500, yeah. 520-ish.
1,000 pages.
I'll be done by next week.
I vote Poppy War and either Spinning Silver or Book of M. How long are they? They're
about 500 pages each.
Yeah. Page count helps my vote. This one, I don't know what the final one...
30 days, guys.
So the final copy of Book of M is 496 pages. Go down. So the 29th. You have over a month.
30 days to read 1,000 pages. That's not bad, guys. That's not bad.
So this one's going to have 496 pages, like the hardcover version. And this one is... What did I say?
So let's commit to Poppy War. Poppy War. Let's commit to Poppy War. So if you can only read 1, Poppy War. Because you've been liking that one so far. Right?
I like both. Or I like this one. I like the Spinning Silver one too, but Poppy War is really good so far.
Well, this one involves powers and losing your memory. I'm down with memory stuff. And I'm down with powers. So I just like more of a fantasy like thing, you know? That's kind of like what I always go for, fantasy.
Love, survival, and hope. New force growing in the south that may hold the cure. It's like an apocalyptic book.
But you get powers. You said something about powers. If there are no powers, the M stands for mutant.
While those afflicted gain a strange new power, it comes at a horrible price.
This is like House of M. This is like House of M, but the Book of M. House of M is the House of Magneto. This is the Book of Magneto.
Happy War. I'm excited. Hopefully I'll do better next month than this month. Dang it, I can't buy it. Yeah, they're kind of expensive because this one's an adult fantasy, and adult fantasies are really expensive.
Well,
I think I paid $20 for
They don't
that
have
book.
things like this in libraries.
Oh yeah, they do.
Okay. Libraries are free.
This one just came out, but I don't know how much it is.
Libraries are free, right?
Yeah.
Libraries are free.
So yeah.
You have no excuse, guys. No excuse. It's books. Books. Don't go to Dunkin' Donuts. Gotta say Dunkin' Donuts. I can't say don't go to the coffee shop. I gotta say Dunkin' Donuts because, not sponsored. # not sponsored. I wish we were sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. How great would that be? Dunkin' Donuts, sponsor us now.
So it's gonna be July 29th, the last Sunday of the month at 2 p.m.
Don't go to
Eastern
Barnes and
Standard.
Noble.
Barnes and Noble's really expensive.
Don't ever buy any books from Barnes and Noble.
They're really expensive.
Unless they sponsor us. Then buy all the books from them. No, Amazon is always your best bet. It's always the cheapest. Or just go to the library, man. When in doubt.
Go to the library.
Got him.
But yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys, if they're expensive. But I've just been in a huge YA slump where I just don't want to read YA.
And I'm not a Y or an A. Wait, no, I'm an A. I'm not a Y.
My library has 7 copies of Book of M, and there are 10 holds. Eesh.
Ooh, pwned. Go to a new library. Problem solved. Isn't there a town? How many towns are around you? Go to a new library. Or do you have to live in the town to be able to get a book there?
I think as long as you have a library card from your town, you can borrow from other towns.
That would suck if you have to live in that town. That's the only book.
Well, you have to for instance, I have where we live. I have our town's library card. I think as long as I have that, I can go to others.
Cool.
But you have to have this town.
But yeah, go to another town. Go next door. No excuses. That's all I'm saying. No excuses. We're reading these books. At least one of them. We're gonna have fun.
I'd be excited if you guys read both of them, but I understand they're long and it's hard.
So we're reading House of M and the Poppy Seed. Wait, House of M and the Poppy Seed. I'm excited about this. I have no idea what they're about. And this what I went into the other book not knowing what it was about, and one of them was
Sam
good.
1 and 2 style order Poppy War 2. My town has a sharing system between each local library. I think a lot of libraries do too. Where I live, if I'm not living in that town, I have to pay to be a member. What?
Yeah, it'd probably still be cheaper though. If they had the book, it'd still be cheaper than buying the book.
Maybe.
It probably wouldn't be $20 a month.
They're all connected. We have 20 libraries in our system, and you can put them on hold, but it takes time since when you hold, it's on all the libraries. I don't
That's
know
advanced.
libraries.
The next they're gonna be able to deliver it to your house for a small fee, a nominal fee. Wouldn't that be cool? You pay $3 and
Why, our library is literally right down the road.
But what if it was coming from a different library?
They can bring it. They can
Deliver it to that
other.
library. But
yeah.
instead of doing that, why don't they just deliver it to your house?
I don't
Boom,
know.
got him. My idea was good, great, even. This is fun. We should do this more often. Maybe once a month or so.
Yeah.
When's next month? The
29th.
29th of next month. We're going to be going over both of these. Even if you don't read both of them, I'm reading both of them. So, whatever. We'll get them done. Get her done. I like saying...
I hope there's an audiobook to this one.
Golly, me too.
Golly.
All right, guys.
Wait, let me check.
Thank you for watching.
What if the audiobook sucks?
I don't care. I'll listen to it at 2.5 speed. Maybe 5 speed.
So far, you want to know what people are rating them?
Oh, no. What?
No, do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, bad or good?
This one has a 4.2.
Okay. And PP War?
Poppy War has a 4.2.
Oh, nice. So we're at the 4.2 table right now. So that's good. Anything else? Miss half your face is off the screen? I'm going to start talking to people like this. Hey, guys.
So there is an audiobook.
Good.
For it. for both.
Good.
So, sorry we're boring, guys. Thank you for joining. I hope you guys are able to read these books.
And I'm going to be releasing a video later today. So if you guys check that out.
When are you putting up the bookshelf video?
What bookshelf video? Oh, crap.
He forgot about it.
I forgot about it. Mika, was a busy week this week. You know that. It was a terrible week.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Come back on Friday for some just for fun talkity talk. And we're going to be talking about talks. And then a month from now, on the 29th, we're going to be doing the book ones. And there's going to be some more videos coming out. And
the Inked Librarian read The Poppy War and loved it. Join the show and talk about it next time.
You don't have to reread it. Just come next week or next month. Jeez,
29th.
I keep saying week.
All right.
People are going to get confused.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye. I got to stop it now.
Bookshelf.
So now I got to pause. We got to wait because the time gets all messed up. And I never really know when it's going to stop. It could cut off right now. It could cut off in a little bit.
We just end it.
We don't really. I can't. I don't know when it's going to